We have something very, very important to discuss today. We are going to be talking about features tell and benefits sell, a case study on a little brand that could. The process of creating brands, right, that have real connecting power with their customers or their prospects, really, ultimately being able to connect those things is really, really, really important. So we're going to be discussing that today. We're going to be looking at it from a couple different avenues. We have a specific brand that I'd like to introduce you to. But before we do that, I want to kind of go down a little bit of a process here in terms of the thought of what brands connect with you, right? A lot of companies that we see focus on the tools of the process, the methods of the execution of X, Y, or Z things, but they have a hard time actually finding that true nugget of benefit and tying it directly to the customer and their stuff, right? So just a quick rundown of some of the things. I love getting texts. This is one of the benefits of mobile communications today, right? You get these great texts that just introduce themselves into your day. I love it. So let's go down a path here, explore some of the brands that by their very name, right, connect with a need that needs to be met or demands to be met by the customer, right? So Facebook, right? That's that connection that we have, right? So much that I'm not really caring about that brand. What about Panera Bread? All right, you can just when you just say it, you can just smell the the actual bread. In fact, even the logo itself has the bread and the lady's hair kind of wisping, right? But it gives you this smell sense that evokes that kind of attitude right out of even the design graphic. Other ones, the Daily Wire is one I have subscribed to. So it's like news is kind of like piped in, right? It's connected, right? Daily Wire, right? And it's coming in all the time, but specifically in these chunks throughout your day. The Home Depot. Let's think about that for just a moment. If I have a need for stuff in my home, guess where I know how to find it, right? I can go to the Home Depot. Um, let's see, what are some of the other ones? Oh, Keyring. Keyring's a good app that I use on a daily basis. You know, those little loyalty programs, they give you a little barcode, and if you were to put all those on your Keyring, it would be insane, right? So Keyring is an app that allows you to kind of keep those all in one spot, and you can even scan stuff. So using something tangible, not the scent like in Panera Bread, but something tangible that we usually see or have experience with, can connect directly with the brand. So I know exactly what's going on with that one. What are the ones? Oh, Legal Shield. Legal Shield is another company that I work with. Basically, it's attorneys like on call, right? So Shield protects, right? Legal is attorneys and in legal stuff that is well beyond my pay grade, right? Simply Safe, another one that we have right on my phone. So again, very simple, tells me exactly what the benefit is right out of the gate. I think that's probably good. Yeah, I think that's good. Can you think of any ones that are standing out in terms of other ones on here that are really connecting? Yeah, LinkedIn, I guess, would be kind of one, right? LinkedIn, connected, camaraderie, those kind of things. So that's kind of the goal, right? When we're talking about brand, we need to be able to kind of connect those brand attributes to the benefits of the customer. So I'm going to introduce you to a brand right now that I think needs some help. And they know they need help because it is what it is. Give you a little bit of background. It's called Atlas Orthogonal. So it's a specialty that some chiropractors use. But basically, it involves the atlas bone, the very top vertebrae of your neck, right? And everything kind of comes through that vertebrae, right? So we're finding that things like arthritis and migraine headaches and carpal tunnel and even MS and things like that can be cleared up just by adjusting this. So beyond just neck pain and back pain, which again, people, car accidents, all that stuff, beyond just the normals, there's a whole bunch of other really cool, amazing things. So let me introduce you to them. I can't say enough about them. I mean, it's gentle, non-surgical. If you're thinking about surgery of any type in regard to pain and solving that, you have to go check this out before you go ahead and either be on medications your whole life or get a surgery done. So shout out to the team there for doing a great job. By the way, all of this, whether it's product or service or brand, the assumption is you do good stuff. You need to have a good quality product or service, or this doesn't really matter how good the marketing is, right? So even just the term Atlas orthogonal, you're not going to be using that in a normal communication process. You're certainly not engaging that on a regular basis for your customers. So it's if they're queuing that into the search engine, and it's a technical term like this, they're already aware of the values and benefits. In many cases, they're educated, right? What we really need to do is seek before that, right? So in this case, it solves a whole bunch of these pain issues. We need to meet the customer there, right? So if we can create the brand that resonates with something they're already feeling offline, smelling, sensing, experiencing, those are all brand attributes we'd like to try to connect with. Does that make sense? So again, I'm sharing this with you here. It's pulling up my local search. So I know that Google's looking at this from a local search perspective, which is cool. It gives me a little bit of insight from a marketing standpoint to things that we can do. But this site here is the one I primarily want to take us to, because this is one page tells us, again, from a design standpoint, it's there's some stuff that there's a lot to be desired, right? And even here, it looks like it flicks over to a completely different website. So it's a landing page. Doesn't even look the same, but does a great job of explaining some of this. So the Atlas orthogonal is basically where there's a machine that basically kind of literally taps gently the top Atlas bone out of alignment. There's a lot of analysis on the front end of this stuff that know exactly how off it is in terms of alignment, this way or this way or this way or this way. And basically this machine basically just goes in and it sits on the base of it, and it just basically taps that little Atlas bone with precision to get that bone, that top bone, in alignment. Okay. So, but it cures things like this right here. Look at the list. People go to a chiropractor, they don't think of sinus problems and allergies and dizziness and scoliosis and autism and fibromyalgia and athletic injuries. They think of things like herniated discs and maybe neck pain and back pain, but fatigue, arthritis, seizures, leg numbness. You're adjusting this bone down here, right? All the way down there, right? Because all those nerves go right through that. So what I'm saying is it solves a lot of problems, okay? Really big solution set. And Atlas Orthogonal doesn't do it for us, right? That name doesn't connect with it. That brand doesn't connect with us. Look at all the issues it actually does address. So what I'd like to be able to see is, if we're going to talk about rebranding, giving this some connectivity power, okay, we start with the brand. What can we actually solve? What's our product or solution? What are the facets of the company that we're engaging? What's the scope, right? These are they, right? So we've got those kind of inked out. That's the first part of the process. The second part of the process is them starting to put some of those into something that we can work with, right? So we've got Atlas Orthogonal, we've got AO, we've got basically this is about aligning that top Atlas bone. We have things like balance. So I'm thinking in terms of balance and squareness, right? And being firm in that. Also achieving optimal health and things like that. So these are kind of like the core concepts of the brand itself, right? And I put those out on there just in order to write them out so I can see them. And then I start looking at, again, this solution set of all the things that we can do, okay? Now, some of these, by the way, before I get into that, some of these may be, like, this might be an 80-20, or there might be 10% of the specific search terms that have volume. This is where, like, a keyword insight, where if you have all these products or services that you can sell, and even ailments and different derivations of that, like reviews or products to solve the problem or relief or whatever reviews. I mean, there's a whole bunch of related words associated with that. Out of those tens of thousands of keywords, you need to know potentially which ones have the greatest impact in your business. Now, that could be as simple as looking at your sales and go, oh, 80% of our sales come from X, Y, or Z things. So let's zero in on those kind of core concepts. We got to make sure that we hit those, right? But you also may have the opportunity, if you want to flip it the other way, especially if you're going for a rebrand, say, let's look at what the market is actually telling us, right? And what our capacity is in regard to hitting that potential market. So one of the things that we would use keyword insight, and a keyword insight is a test of all of the possible keywords, not an estimate, a test. So let's say you take an average business. So a keyword insight for us looks a lot like this. So we'll develop all the products or services, or the keywords. We'll develop all those potential keywords, competitors, reviews, all that stuff, all those derivations of words. On average, that list for a small business with like five cities kind of around it is about 72,000 keywords. Okay, so we'll take those 72,000 keywords and then we'll actually run the test in Google in the AdWords area at a phrase match level, right? Because we want to see if words are front or back of that. We can actually get some intel from that as well. But basically, after that test is done of the 72,000, literally there's going to be 10 or 15 that we really want to home in on that have potential in terms of the market because they're telling us out there that they need our stuff, right? So our job is to say, okay, once we've got that list of keywords, we can go ahead and say, yep, we're going to go after this one and this one, not this one. It's too far away in terms of, affinity or correlation between what we're doing. But you get that nice list of 15 to 20 potentially core key terms because the volume is there, and you overlay that with your actual sweet spot in terms of sales, average order, margin, all that fun stuff, sales potential, focus of executive team, whatever. Okay. You get that list and now you're able to do something with it, right? So again, in this case here, we have the opportunity to throw this really big net, okay? So like in this case, start to just ink out some of the terms that encompassed those things. So I thought health, encompasses all of these specific keywords, right? Let me go through that. Let me show you real quick, just so a quick reminder again. Okay, all these potential keywords, health, right? I'm going to go ahead and shut this off then again so you can see me because the list is bigger that way. So health is something that encompasses all of that. Might be too general, right? But pain-free. So this list talks about a lot of pain issues as we're going through: sinus, allergies, dizziness. I don't even know what some of these are, right? Obviously neck pain and back pain, right? Auto injuries, athletic injuries. So pain-free is definitely one. But even bigger things, right? The benefits, right? So when I'm feeling well, we're talking about adventure, maybe like being able to do things that I wouldn't have been able to do before, being exciting and going to visit places and visit family and engaging in activities that, really allow me to create some memories, right? But vitality, to feel alive and to feel ready to go, right? Living, right? I don't want to be suffering from pain anymore. See how we're getting to the kind of the benefit, the bigger picture of this stuff? Wellness is one I really like. In fact, when we talk about pain-free, if you look at, let's say, kind of a scale, right? This side being pain, right? I want to get out of pain. I want to get out of pain to where I feel okay. And then wellness has a couple of benefits, but wellness to me is optimal, right? Building on that strength. Again, being able to participate in activities that I wasn't even able to do yesterday, but now I'm able to do that. So again, it's getting better to okay, and I feel good. Now it's actually excelling past that, which is another term I actually put in there. But I like that term. It also, by the way, has a benefit of wellness because it's on this side, it doesn't really have an end, right? Pain, getting out of pain is one thing, but this wellness side, I can always be better. I can always be more flexible. I can always be more able to handle activities and things like that, right? So there's this wellness side of it that is ongoing, and for a business, ongoing revenue is a very good thing. Complete. So this is a whole package. Amazing how one little bone alignment has an impact in the whole body. So really, again, trying to encapsulate that. 360 is also another one. So what I was suggesting with this specific brand is pain-free wellness. And then the brand itself, because this now connects with those guests. It's the benefit. So I can see right away as a prospective patient or customer in this case, or patient, I can see the value. I want to be pain-free and I want to be well. I can see the benefit. Okay, so pain-free wellness, and then the brand itself, as if it was like buy, in this case, buy, and it's Atlas Orthogonal, because we want to be able to tell the process of how, okay? But we need something that connects this complicated scientific away, kind of like, I don't really want to know too much about that stuff yet. It's too technical, to something that is a toward response, right? Pain-free and wellness. So very, very simple exercise, but wildly effective in terms of being able to connect that guest, in this case with a brand. By the way, it works the same thing for campaigns, you guys. So if you understand the unique values of the campaigns, right? You've inked out the things that matter to your campaigns or the products or service. You've identified the products you want to go after. And we see this all the time, seriously. Features tell, benefits sell. It's a basic of sales, I know, but we often forget it. Marketing people had to go through that, right? I think so. It doesn't matter. It's often ignored. So ink those things out. These are the features that I want. Draw a dash and put the benefits in there so that when you're doing videos or when you're writing scripts or you're actually creating content for a web page with bullet points and things like that, or even spec sheets, or even brochures that are sitting in your office. Those are the kind of things literally that we need to be thinking about. Benefits. Okay, not the technicals. It is a tough one. I mean, I get caught in it all the time too. But so again, this is talking about brand, but the same thing, the same process works for, campaigns as it relates to products and or services. And it, by the way, it doesn't hurt to have a keyword insight where you're actually testing it. Now, some of you say, well, I'm a regional or a statewide. Look, the same process that works for that small local business that ran 72,000 words is the same one that is a global rent-a-car company for 64 million key terms that we've tested. Okay, so again, answering the question is really, really, really important, okay, of what they're searching and connecting that stuff in there, because then you can figure out better campaigns, better performance, right? So I hope that helps. This has been the 11 a.m. Monday morning marketing webcast. Appreciate you joining me today. Remember, if you haven't already, to go ahead and go to marketingwebcast.live and register, sign up so that you're aware of the notifications or things like that. Really appreciate your time this morning.